Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new Pico hexacopter. This is a H20 Mini. So you have the same basic ingredients, 6-axis stabilized, of course. You have headless mode, 1K return, okay, and you can perform some 360 flips with a simple button. So let's discover what you will find in this bundle. Okay, here are all the elements in the box. First of all, good news, you have 2 spare batteries. They are 1 cellular LiPo 120 mAh powers with 20 C of discharge rate, and in terms of weight, each of them weighs approximately a little bit more than 4 grams. 4 grams, not 1, and they are ending with this 1.25 mini JST connector. Be aware the polarities are inverted, so it means that don't mix your USB charging cable provided in the bottle with some other. You have strongly advised to type H20 Mini with a marker to not be wrong, okay? You have a second one, and the relative good news in terms of battery. In the back side you will find a mini port to recharge on your favorite field, the LiPo. It will take approximately 20 minutes to recharge your battery. That's a good news. So first positive point, a lot of free batteries. Okay, let's focus a little bit more on the hexacopter. It's a very small one. I can give you an indication about the dimension. For example, from the main motors on diagonal, you have just something like 45 millimeters. Okay, motors are super tiny. They are even less than 6 millimeter motors, so probably some 5 or 4 millimeters coreless motor. 6 for an hexa, obvious. And on the bottom side you can guess the flying controlling board with the corresponding mini JST connector and a tiny power switch here. That's always a good point when you have a tiny power switch. Props are all black, unicolor. It's not a super good idea, especially when you fly it in lost condition. It's a little bit harder to keep your orientation. With unique color props, it would have been great to mix some, why not some white on front. And more, as you will see when I will plug the battery, the LEDs are not super bright. Okay, so it means that it will be even harder to keep your orientation. So as soon as I will turn on the LiPo, look at the front LEDs. The blue one are not super strong, so it's not a super positive point. The total weight with the LiPo inserted reached 12.5 grams. That's super great. And if you're absolutely beginners, you will find in the bags some 6 spare prop cards as well as 6 spare props. So you just need to gently clip them. You will have first to remove the props, but the weight of this prop guard are so light, okay, so it's under the precision of my scale. Okay, 0.3 gram for the total weight, and if I measure everything, is less than 13 grams, so it's pretty light. And the main question, how long you will be able to fly with such battery, is around 5 minutes before you will see the red LEDs rear flashing to indicate that you are there is an LVC alarm. So it's really good in terms of flight time. You can get that with 6 motors, the sportivity of this machine should be stronger. In fact, it's not really the case. It doesn't bring much more punch versus a quadcopter. So it's not in this sense that the JJRC H20 is bringing the more, I would say it's a little bit more stable than a classic quadcopter. The design is cool, okay, and there are no visible antennas. In terms of the radio, you have this kind of radio you have to handle like this, and of course you can jail your quadcopter, okay, inside with the 2 batteries. That's great, ideal for office. All the bundle weighs 135 grams with the LiPo inserted, so it's pretty cool. It's ideal for transportation, to play 5 minutes in your office, or obviously for indoors practicing. So you need only 2 AAA batteries to feed your transmitter, and any image batteries are working. That's great. So to power the transmitter, you have to press this button, okay? And usually to completely harm your machine, you have to push up and down your throttle stick. This button, the top right, okay, is to select one of the 3-speed mode: beginner, intermediate, and the fastest with the crazy yaw rate. Okay, I'm not a great fan of this kind of super fast yaw rate, but it could be nice to play with the headless mode. So the headless mode, you have to click here on the left throttle stick. Okay, so the 3rd speed mode is usually have to be coupled with the headless mode to make some funny pirouettes at full speed while turning and while keeping correctly your orientation. If you right click on the right stick, you will engage the 1K return. This button here is to perform flips, and this one, if you long press on it, is to perform the radio calibration, the six-axis calibration of the accelerometers and gyroscope. Okay, so you have to push to install your machine on a flat surface. You have 6 spare props or blocks, okay, an instruction manual. One side is English, the other side is Chinese, okay. And in terms of radio protocol, unfortunately I was not able to bind with my Devo controller with any existing radio protocol, but I found that the radio protocol is almost the same that the H8 3D. It's binding but not controlling, so probably some small flags are different. It should be not so hard to hack, to finish, to complete the hacking for this new model of JJRC. So what I really like is the possibility to remove the LiPo and to install a new fresh one, the possibility to recharge your LiPo with your own transmitter. One word about the face-safe behavior. We make a small test. So turn on the radio, turn on the transmitter, okay. You have to push up and down to finish to harm, and you will see that if I turn off the radio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close to 5 seconds before to slow down. So it means that you have a potential of fly away around, if you were at full speed, around 20 meters. So it could be problematic. Let's see if we can rearm the machine. Yes, so at least we can regain control after losing the control. The radio range is not bad. You have a good 20-25 meters and is largely enough for such kind of small machine. Okay, so if you want to extend your range, okay, you probably could perform the antenna mode, the classic one, drill a small hole on the top of the canopy and install vertically the 2.4 GHz antennas. One day this radio protocol will be hacked, and the radio protocol, with such radio protocol and radio, also the control range will be largely extended. So really I like most of elements, the presence of a tiny switch, the minute flight time. Okay, what my deep regret is the lack of orientation information. All props are unicolor and the front LEDs are not so bright, so for that flight is not a super flyer. You will see that the 3-speed mode are correct. Is not super sporty machine, but super stable. Okay, so I think it's ideal for indoors practicing, for beginners after installing the prop guards. It's really great, and well, it's durable. I crashed it many times without any big problems with the machine, even without the prop guard. That's a good point. So now let's check a little bit some demo flight indoors, and you will see the behavior of the 3-speed mode. Okay, so let's start the demo flight. So I will turn on first the quadcopter with a tiny switch, turn on the power switch on the bottom left. Okay, and you have to push up and down the throttle. You can hear this triple sound. Now it's bound, no problem. And if you need to level the machine, or if you have a problem with some drift on left, on right, forward, backward, you have to long press this button here and you will see the LEDs flashing fast. Now it's calibrating. Let's engage the first beginner rate by default. So okay, and you will see the maximum rate is relatively slow, the yaw is slow, okay, as well the forward, backward, so ideal for beginners. Let's engage the flip, flipping wall. Okay, now let's see the second speed mode. The intermediate should offer much faster rate, faster yaw, and no problem. Punch out are limited, but it's not so bad, it's super stable at least. Okay. Whoa. Avoid crash. So sometimes you have some inertia. Let's check the super third expert mode with the crazy yaw rate. Okay, 3 be permitted, and look that you have this yaw rate you have to play with the headless mode. So let's engage the headless mode. Okay, so let's engage the headless mode by pressing, and you have some flashing LEDs like this, so indicating that you're in headless mode. Yes, no problem. So you can perform some super pirouette at full speed without any problem. Okay. It's funny, he's not losing his orientation. Wow! Okay, so let's give up the headless mode and return in normal flight mode. The machine drifted a bit, so I will apply maybe some trim. You know, with this type of machine versus time, some motor can be weaker. So now I return to the second speed mode, more docile, more adapted for indoors, I guess, in my point of view. Flying well. So time to time, after some crash, you probably need to reset and recalibrate the gyros. Okay. So be aware you have some inertia, and as I said in my videos, when you are front, you cannot really guess the LEDs. So to keep your orientation is pretty hard in my point of view. So it's flying beautifully. Okay, you can see that after should be around 4 minutes, close to 5 minutes of flight time, and I'm still have some power, so that's great. This radio is more adapted for summer, okay, summer pilots. So if you are more a pincher, you probably can install some more longer stick adapted to your the way you prefer to fly the machine. But I strongly advise to take, okay, I think I reach LVC right now. You can see that the machine, and when I measure the voltage at the battery, when LVC reach, you can see some flashing LEDs, okay. The voltage was around 3.45 volts, so don't abuse to fly it in LVC condition, or you will definitively damage your battery. Okay, so it was the end of this small demo flight of the JJRC H20 Mini. Really pleasant flyers, not really a lot of drawbacks. I think I like most of the points. I really like the presence of this tiny switch, removable batteries, transportable through the transmitter casing, possibility to recharge and fill the batteries. That's great, and you have a spare battery. It's durable, the flying duration is great, flight controller range also close to 25 meters, so a lot of positive points, except maybe the unique color of props and the poor brightness of LEDs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please submit, and if you like my channel, please subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.